A huge issue that I'm not particularly fond of myself is the issue of mental conditioning. Now, mental conditioning is not exactly that easy to pinpoint and say that's causing the problems. You can blame it on a number of things. You can blame it on the television. You could blame it on, like, if you really wanted to go into detail, you could say BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Sky boxes, what have you. You could blame it on that. You could blame it on radio. That could be Radio 1, Radio 2, Capital, Classic FM. You could blame it on books. It could be any books, 1984, Brave New World. I mean, I'm not saying these books are not exactly ones. These are more to get out of this mental conditioning. But there is a lot of books that are promoting mental conditioning, and that could include World Order by Henry Kissinger, or another book, what's called The Grand Chessboard by Zbigniew Brzezinski. These books can also break your mind, but I mean, at the same time, these books are controlling the sort of world plans and that. But that's not the main agenda here. The main agenda is mental conditioning. Now, so you ask me, what is the mental conditioning? Well, if you look at countries or individual cities even, and you look at the way people act, behave, and they all seem to come under this mindset. Now, it could be also to do with music as well. I mean, like, influence, it could be music or any media or any sort of logic patterns would follow. Like, if you look at, for example, say if you follow indie music, right, you would listen to albums such as Hot Fuss or what's called that album, Parachutes by Coldplay, right, or The Killers or whatever. But the thing is, these magazines and these books and stuff, what if they're all just there to almost not program you, but almost like give you a program setting so that you don't break free out of your sort of mind shell, what you've been originally given? Because I think free thought is quite in jeopardy by these sort of decisions. And the problem is, you can't like physically fight against it, and you can't almost verbally fight against it. It's not exactly as simple as just going like that and fighting against a sort of, I mean, if you're fighting against politicians, you can go like that, no more cuts or whatever, and have banners, or don't go to war in Iraq, because the Iraq process firmly said. But this is dealing with your mind. This is almost like breaking free out of your control and your masters and your higher ups. I'm not saying that there's such a thing as the Illuminati, because people just get obsessed with saying Illuminati this and Illuminati that, and it wears people who are in natural reading into these things, just wears them down. I also believe our mind, I mean, if we go too far into a topic, like say, I don't know any big topics nowadays, like say there's a topic and we've went too far into it, like say nuclear weapons or nuclear bombs or something. If we read too much into it, or even just NASA or whatever, and we read too much into these subjects, we're penalised. Like, look at hackers, they get penalised, right? So I think we're just meant to be sitting in our own wee boxes and expecting the world are doing nothing. Well, in the reality, there is a dark world out there, and it's covering a lot of things up from the common man, and I don't think that's right either. So, if we get our world to grips, we break free from this trance that's just keep on going, I think a lot of people would start to rise up and be a bit more happy in life as well, because if you're forcefully told through the media and all sorts of things, and sort of organisations that don't seem to do much, like Agenda 21, who are causing a lot of this problem to happen as well. I think we need to have a serious talk with not just who runs the Wolves, but who is exactly putting their finger and pressing buttons in the Wolves as well. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation.